Hello everyone and welcome back to Learn Vietnamese with Jane. In today's lesson, we are gonna go through some tips on how to sound like a Vietnamese native speaker. You know, learning how to use personal pronouns appropriately is very important when you learn Vietnamese. If you know how to use personal pronouns appropriately, you will sound like local people. Now, for example, when you greet someone around your parents' age and who is a female, the appropriate personal pronoun would be bà. So you should say con chào bà or cháu chào bà. Now, if you don't know that personal pronoun, you might say chào bạn, which means hi friend. So she could understand what you say, like she knows that you're trying to say hi. But in this situation, bạn is not an appropriate personal pronoun to use because she's not the same age with you. So again, it is very important to learn how to use personal pronoun appropriately so you can sound like a native speaker. Now let's take a look on pronunciation. So you know in English, we usually pronounce the last letter of a word. For example, the word book, I say book with the sound k at the end of the word. But in Vietnamese, we use rhymes which have a no separate sound of the last letter. For example, the word mật ong. So you can see the word mật have the T sound at the end. But I will say mật ong. I don't say mật ong. Or for example, the word cuốn sách. So I say cuốn sách. The word sách have a no ch sound at the end. I say cuốn sách. I don't say cuốn sách. So a note here is we don't pronounce the last letter of a word in Vietnamese. When you learn Vietnamese, you might choose to speak with northern accent or southern accent. And either options, you will need to learn the pronunciation variation so you will sound like a local in the area that you stay. Now, for example, when I speak with southern accent, I will change the V sound to the Y sound. So I say vui vẻ instead of vui vẻ. Or I will say khi nào em về Việt Nam instead of saying khi nào em về Việt Nam. When you learn Vietnamese vocabulary, you will see that a word can be one or more than one syllables, and those syllables stand separately with a space in between. So when we say a word, we say it together. Now let's look at this example. The sentence ngày mai là thứ hai. This means tomorrow is Monday. So you can see that in this sentence we have three words. Ngày mai means tomorrow. Là means to be. And thứ hai means Monday. So I won't say ngày mai là thứ hai. I will say ngày mai là thứ hai. So you can see that I group the word ngày mai. I say it together. And I say thứ hai together. Now let's listen again. I won't say ngày mai là thứ hai. I will say ngày mai là thứ hai. So you can see that it will sound more natural when you group a word together. Now similarly, we will need to group the relevant words together. Now let's take a look at this example. Khi nào anh về Việt Nam chơi? So you can see that khi nào is a word, means when. Anh means you. And về Việt Nam chơi, we can see it as a phrase, which means go back to Vietnam for later. So I will not say khi nào anh về Việt Nam chơi. I will say khi nào anh về Việt Nam chơi. So you can see that I say khi nào as a word and về Việt Nam chơi as a phrase. So khi nào anh về Việt Nam chơi. It will sound more natural than you say khi nào anh về Việt Nam chơi. When you talk to someone and you are trying to think about what to say next, you can use filler words to give you more time to think. So one of the filler words in Vietnamese is the word thầy. Thầy, which means well or then or Now, for example, if someone asks you, what do you think? Em nghĩ sao? You can say, thì vậy cũng được. Another filler word that you can use is the word nói chung là. Again, nói chung là, which means in short. So you can use this filler word when you are trying to organize your ideas and you just want to say it as generic as possible. For example, you can say, thì nói chung là nó là vậy đó. Now let's talk about daily conversation. You know, in English, when we meet someone, we usually say, hi, how are you? Or hi, how's it going? Etc. But in Vietnamese, when you greet people, you only say, how are you to people you know. For example, you say, chị khỏe không chị? Which means, how are you? Or are you well? So this is a real question about themselves. It's not just a greeting phrase. So you only say this to people you know. And if you meet a person the first time, you only say, hello. We don't say, how are you? Now, when you say thank you, in English, we usually say thank you for something. But in Vietnamese, we usually just briefly talk about the situation and then we say thank you. So, for example, in English, you say, thank you for letting me know. But in Vietnamese, you will say, I got it, thank you. So instead of saying, cảm ơn chị vì đã cho em biết, you will say, em biết rồi, cảm ơn chị nha. Now, when you have a phone call with someone, and before you hang up, in English, we usually say goodbye or bye for now. But in Vietnamese, we don't say goodbye or bye for now before we hang up. We say, vậy thôi ha, or vậy thôi nha. And you can always add the word okay or yeah at the beginning if you talk to someone older. So instead of saying goodbye or bye for now, you say, that's it for now, bye. So instead of saying chào tạm biệt, you say vậy thôi ha, or you say dạ, vậy thôi ha. Now the last one, how to say hello to people in Vietnam. So you know, in English, when you greet people in the morning, you say good morning. Or in the afternoon, you say good afternoon or good evening. So when it's translated to Vietnamese, people usually say chào buổi sáng. And this is a direct translation from English to Vietnamese. But in Vietnamese, we don't say chào buổi sáng. When you greet people, you would say chào and plus an appropriate personal pronoun. You say chào anh, chào chị, chào mọi người. You don't say chào buổi sáng because it sounds unnatural in Vietnamese. Okay, that's it for today. I hope the lesson is helpful for you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.